Hey, y'all, I wanted to go ahead and put this video together for y'all. Shout out to all the new subscribers and all the new people who are joining my channel. I haven't had time to make a lot of videos because I'm so busy out here on the road doing this truck driving thing, you know, and that kind of thing. And y'all know what I do for a living, and I'm just out here on the road, okay, 24/7. You know, I'm about to end my 10-hour break now and deliver this morning here in Southern California. But I want to go ahead and talk about this ADOS thing, this reparations thing, and that kind of thing. I made a video a while ago talking about how I was against reparations and why I thought it was silly and that kind of thing. And then a lot of people made remarks, and you know, they said things like okay, hold on, you know, they said things like you know, are you really ADOS? Are you like an African or something? I'm certainly not African. Okay, I'm an African American. My mama is from Memphis, Tennessee. My daddy is from Birmingham, Alabama. Both my parents are actually civil rights generation. They had me late in life, though. You know, they had me late in life. So my dad was like 40 something, and my mom was like 35 or something like that, like when they had me. So I'm a early 90s baby, so of course I'm ADOS. But the issue is, look at what it has done. Look at what this reparations argument has done. You just got a bunch of people fighting each other now. You got Tariq Nasheed fighting Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks. You got all these people throwing names at each other and who would have thought that a movement that was supposed to be positive. I mean, the idea of reparations, you know, to black Americans, you know, for past grievances and stuff, that's supposed to be positive, right? Or at least it's supposed to be, but it has turned into like this fucking Super Smash Brothers melee now. That, you know, I feel like it's like this shit is like fucking Super Smash Brothers. Motherfuckers is jumping around everywhere, trying to pounce on each other, beat each other up, beat each other down, knock each other over, and trying to get it, you know, trying to say that their view on it is the right view, and all of that. That's what this shit has turned into. So how could it be a good thing if this is what it has turned into? Look, I said this a long time ago, because I am a student of economics. You know, go read The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Okay. I believe his name is Adam Smith. Excellent book. Okay, if you really want to understand capitalism and how it works and how economic growth works, go read The Wealth of Nations. Okay, it's an older book, but it's a book it's easy to sit down and read. You know, the common person can really sit down and read that book and come to a really good understanding of economics. Go read Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. Okay, another amazing book. Thomas Sowell, one of my, you know, black conservatives that I look up to, one of my heroes. Brilliant man. And the book these books are easy reads. It's easy to sit down and understand these books. It's not like you got to be some fucking Rhodes Scholar and went to Ivy League for 10 years to understand these books. These books are easy to sit down and open up and read and understand. Any reasonably intelligent person can read these books and get something out of it. Okay, but because I'm a student of economics, I understand how economic growth works, and that economic growth works organically. Okay, there's nothing that the government can do or any policy that they can make that can make a group of people be successfully economically. That group of people have to become successful on their own. They have to figure out a way of what works for them and move forward with that. That's what has to happen. Okay? You can't just, this mindset that if somehow the government, is responsible for economic outcomes is bullshit. Okay? That's just not how it works. So because I understand that, I have a different view on reparations. I don't believe that if somehow black people get these cash payments, that somehow it's going to make their situation better. Problem with black folks, and I said this, black folks don't employ each other enough. That's the issue. You don't employ each other enough. You don't have a business mindset or a culture. Okay? When you get businesses, different people hate on them. Sometimes black business owners get hated on, or they get targeted by, dusty elements in the black community. There was a young brother a few years ago. He had like this shoe store. I think it was on the East Coast or something. He was selling like these vintage shoes and vintage Jordans and all types of stuff. And very successful brother. And some dudes knocked on his door one night and came in the back of the store and fucking shot him for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? It was insane. There was another sister in Dallas, I believe. She had a successful hair salon, and some dudes came in there and shot her in the head. Those types of stories make me furious. Okay? When you have the successful people, the smart people who get targeted. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I've criticized the community on. Your problem is not really economic. It only seems that way. Your problem is you have a dysfunctional element in your community that has to be dealt with, and you don't want to deal with it. Okay? When they lock these people up, you complain and say, well, there's mass incarceration. Okay? When law enforcement do come down on that particular element, you say, well, that's police brutality. For some reason, the black community always wants to sympathize with the losers or with the villain for some reason. I don't know why that is. Maybe we'll have to have a video talking about that. Okay? But it's that element that is actually holding your community back. It has nothing to do with, with economics. Like, if you can get rid of that element, rising economically will be easy after that. It'll be easy. You can get to where you need to get economically within 5 years or 10 years. It wouldn't take that long. So what you have now is you have this culture in the black community that wants to worship this poverty element, this criminal element, and wants to push the successful people and stuff away and call them names and call them coons and call them all types of ridiculous names and stuff. And you wonder why the community is in the state that it's in. Okay, reparations is not going to help black people. And I stand by that statement. I stand by that more now than ever before. Okay, reparations will not help black people. It'll probably put them in an even worse position. Okay? And honestly, I'm glad that these other groups now are coming into America and starting to supplant black folks in a lot of sectors of the society, because I know it sounds messed up that I'm saying that, but this is something that had to happen. Maybe these other groups will make black folks learn what it is that they have to do to be successful again. Maybe it'll make them learn, okay, maybe what we've been doing in the past 35, 40 years hasn't been working. And you are starting to see a little bit of a political awakening in the black community now. You're starting to see a few more black folks start to become conservative and that kind of thing. And that's good. That's good. I think Trump is going to get a second term, and that's good. I don't want these Democrats in there. I don't want these socialists in there. They're just going to push the same victim narrative. And then they always act surprised when Hispanics don't just ride for the Democrats the way black folks do. Look, not every group in America has conditioned themselves to see themselves as a permanent victim the way a lot of black folks have. Not every group sees themselves like that. A lot of groups just see themselves as free citizens who are able to go out here and make decisions for themselves. And they don't want the government getting in the way of that. And that's why they're conservative. Okay, it has nothing to do with them being whites. So you want to call them white supremacists and all this and that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that some people want to control their own destiny. Being a conservative is about controlling your own destiny and not blaming others for your own bullshit. You know what I mean? And at least that's what being a conservative means to me. But this ADOS thing has been a disaster. It's led by Yvette Carnell. I understand Yvette Carnell is a lesbian. I understand that. And that's not to attack anyone's gender disposition. But I just don't think that having any lesbian or gay person at the head of like a black movement is going to be beneficial, because that person is always going to put the LGBT interest first before truly the black interest. So for those of you who are ADOS, I don't even think it's smart to even have them as y'all leaders. Y'all need to think about getting rid of them at some point and replacing them. But then again, and just like this O'Shea broadcast that I have up on the screen, the brother that he brought on there to talk about ADOS, he did seem like he had some kind of he might have had LGBT tendencies. I don't know though. But I think a lot of the LGBT people from Black Lives Matter are just not going to come into ADOS. That's really what I think. So it got you thinking this is like a black movement for the black community, and it's not. It's just a gay movement for LGBT rights. It's just masked as as this black movement and that kind of thing. So y'all need to watch out for that kind of stuff. I put my interest first as a straight person first before anything, because we live in an era where LGBT is trying to supplant straight people at all levels of society. And to me, that's a bigger issue than this reparation stuff, to me. But that's a whole nother video. But yeah, I don't rock with ADOS. ADOS has nothing to do with slavery. It has nothing to do with slavery. It's all about the leftist agenda. It's all about trying to get money by having a victim narrative. Okay? That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with anything positive or progressive, that's going to help the community as a whole. And that's just my thing. But how should I say it? That's what I got to say on it. I just, I'm done with it, man. I'm done. I'm about to be done with identity politics altogether. Anyways, but that's a whole nother issue and topic. But go ahead, let me know what y'all think about this.